First time Eyewitness News talked with former Senator Dan Coates about the possibility of taking on Evan Bayh in the November election and about the controversy over which state he calls home. He talked earlier today with our political reporter Kevin Rader.
The most talked about man in Indiana politics made his first official campaign stop in Indianapolis on Wednesday.
Time for a good lunch.
Dan Coates stopped in for lunch at Shapiro's to shake hands. The former U.S. Senator and former ambassador to Germany has been the topic of Democratic scorn ever since he announced his intention to collect 4,500 signatures needed to run for the Republican nomination for Senate.
Well, I think they're running scared.
And if you don't tell the good people of Indiana...
But clearly the video of Coates telling a North Carolina gathering that he was considering moving there has taken its toll. Now, Coates says he owns a home on the near north side of Indianapolis and plans to sell that home in North Carolina.
We have made the decision that back home again in Indiana sounds awful darn good. Let me just explain the North Carolina situation, because that thing's been way out of line.
He said he made that statement to the North Carolina delegation at the GOP convention, thinking about his in-laws who live in the Tar Heel state. He says it's much about nothing, and the focus now should be on improving the nation's economy. But Beverly Hyde of Indianapolis asked Coates about it.
But it concerned me that he would make a comment like that, that it was, you know, Virginia and North Carolina would be ahead of Indiana. He's going to have to watch his P's and Q's.
Coates has also taken heat for his lobbying work, which he says he will be able to disprove allegations about soon.
So you would say that even those in your own party, they're wrong?
They've been singing the tunes that the Democrats want them to sing, and it's not factually correct.
Republican State Senator Marlin Stutzman is also seeking the GOP nomination.
Us good folks here in Indiana, we've got questions about where you've been and what you've been doing and what you've been relating with with your relationships through lobbying firms.
Another Hoosier threw his hat in the ring for Senator Bayh's seat Wednesday. Bob Thomas, an Indianapolis and Fort Wayne car dealer, says he thinks it's important for Indiana to be represented by someone who actually lives in Indiana.
Call me old-fashioned, but I think that if there's going to be a senator from Indiana, he ought to actually be from Indiana.
But for right now, the leading contender on the Republican side is Dan Coates.
I mean, why did you quit? I had committed to limited terms.
But Hoosiers have questions.
You know, don't be a career politician.
Yeah, but that allowed Bayh to run without opposition.
We're going to fix that this time.
And now Coates will find out if they like his answers.
Coates says he will be keeping his townhouse in Virginia, however. He says he hopes that he'll be needing it in January. John?
All right, thank you, Kevin. And you can see Kevin's entire interview with Dan Coates at WTHR.com. Also on the website, a look at the growing challenge facing the incumbent Senator Evan Bayh.